building your spiritual practice, building your morning practice. There is something about the miracle morning in starting your day off right, in the sense of getting in the right state of mind, of consciousness, expanding your state of mind, expanding your state of consciousness. And it's nothing that has to be strict or rigorous, for life is spontaneous in nature. Rooted in thankfulness is the basis, because hey, if you wake up, that is a miracle. And so there is something about the miracle morning, for if you wake up, that is a miracle and you are a blessing. And so getting in the right state is getting in alignment with that truth, with that fact, with that reality. We can fight all we want, but what are we really limiting? Who are we limiting the most? Being in our head, thinking of poor little me? What's really going on? Because through my experience, it's like when you get past that, it's like, well, what took me so long? You know, I was just going through some stuff. It's okay. I got through it. Great. What can I take from it? How can I learn? How can I snap more in the moment and identify without identifying and getting stuck, and just, okay, cool, like, yeah, learning to live. I love it. Learning to live, allowing life to live, because life lives. There's acceptance of that. Opening up the blessings in your life, opening up the blessings in your world, because you are a blessing. And everything is a blessing. There is something inside of life that believes in it. In all of life. For that is what makes life life. And see that inside. So building your spiritual practice, building your morning practice. Some people call it priming. There are many different ways to do it. And I feel called to share my experience in such a way to help inspire getting to the basis of it, getting to the universalness of it. Like, what's the common denominator? And really tapping into that. We call it love in ways. And that's part of learning to live, learning to love. And for me, it's just opening up without me, just opening up and learning to love, learning to live. And I know I experience some of that where we can kind of get stuck and we think we know what love is. Like, we talk about love like we know what love is. But the whole purpose, one of the purposes why I feel that we're here, is to learn on how to live and learn on how to love. And so if we keep ourselves stuck and rigid in that, thinking that, oh, we already know it, there's no need to search, there's no need to open up, and then we get kind of a little bit sensitized where if we get called out, we take it way too personal and we put ourselves down and we limit ourselves from growing from that teaching and really learning to love more, learning to live more, because there's no boundary, there's no limit to learning on how to live and learning on how to love. So the more that we can open ourselves up, and this is our own healing journey, this is our own jump in consciousness. First and foremost, we're limiting ourselves if we're limiting anything. And so opening ourselves up and just building our spiritual practice through subtraction in a way, and really identifying what are the things that are still serving me, what are the things that I just do just because I want approval of another person, because I want to make somebody else happy. That's kind of the basics of the spiritual practice that I've learned through finding it on my own, in a way, where it's about building that happiness inside of you, and there's a way, without dogma, without a religious context of somebody else's thinking, not putting anything down, because that's what we need to get over with. That's what we need to overcome. Going forth that union, that yoke inside of us. That's part of the spiritual practice. Regardless of one's belief or faith, it's finding that belief and that faith inside of you. And so finding and seeking and being attracted to things that are constructively helping you to expand your consciousness and to bring forth more acceptance, more love, more thankfulness and gratitude into your life, because that's what this is about. Everybody truly wants to be happy, I feel. And I feel that everybody truly wants to love. It's just things happen in life, and sometimes we close our heart, because I know through my experience of what I've done, not to put myself down, but to propel myself forward by snapping more in the moment and just being. Nothing to prove, just being and learning to be. That's another part of the spiritual practice of building one's spiritual practice, learning to be. And we learn this, I teach this through practicing contentment. Is part of the ways in teaching meditation and teaching contentment inside oneself, in the sense of being content in the moment, being content without things, being content with what you have right now, not in the sense that you're going to stay there. There's still a part of a desire to grow, a desire to expand as nature grows or decays in physical appearance. So how do we grow spiritually? How do we build our spiritual practice? How do we build happiness inside of ourselves every single day? How do we start off our day? Do we get into the right state of consciousness, the right state of mind, in the gratitude, in the thankfulness for life? Whether you believe that life is an accident or not, it is a miracle. Like, we don't truly know everything as humans. In fact, we know such a small fraction, and we only have such a small fraction of the information of reality, so it's ignorant for us to think that we know it all. And so, taking that step back, getting into nature, and really looking at it in such a way like you've never looked at it before. Because maybe we've been taught and told our whole life what this is and what that is, but how does one know? Because if you pay attention to history and whatnot, throughout history, we have been constantly redefining our worldview. We have been evolving, as science says. So there is this part of growth. There is this part of expansion as the universe is constantly expanding. And so are we allowing our consciousness to constantly expand, or maybe we just need to be, and we just need a little snap in the moment, just a little splash of water on the face, and bam, here you are, here you go. Clear the heart, fill it with love, fill it with gratitude and thankfulness, and, let go of the stories, of the narratives, of the hurt, of the pain. If it's over with, it's over with. And as difficult as it may be, that's part of the spiritual practice, is finding that peace inside of yourself. Because that's amazing healing comes from that peace inside of ourselves. Happiness comes from that peace inside of ourselves. It doesn't come from things. So as we build our spiritual practice, we build so many things. We build all things. And start it off right. Get into that good gratitude, thankfulness, consciousness, expand it, and be like in awe. And who knows what today may bring. And just live it, because are there guarantees in life? I mean, maybe there is a promise, but a lot of things are not promised. So we can be thankful for it. We're all dealt cards in life. We can complain about our cards, or we can, take a deep breath. Just relax a little bit. Okay? Get a good perspective. I'm in the game and I'm playing. That's a beautiful thing. In poker, that's what you have. If you're playing the game like that, you have chips and you have a hand. Holy cow, if you're in a tournament, you chip in a chair, they say. You just chip in a chair, man, because Stratus, he came all the way, he had chip in a chair at a tournament, and he came back and won the whole tournament. Chip in a chair. If you wake up, you got breath, chip in a chair, baby. That's a blessing, that's a gift, give thanks.